all had a very beautiful and productive week. So you're welcome to today's class. Today is day 8. So while filling your attendance form, um, you will be asked for the day. Today is day 8. Have that at the back of your mind. All right, a very brief announcement as usual. If you are on this call and you have not yet made your registration fee, is already week 8. So please, you do well to do that so that we will not be running helter and skelter trying to figure out your certificate, okay? And if you are still on this call and you have not followed us on all of our social media handles, please, you are wrong. Please follow us on all of our social media handles on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter. Engage us, subscribe to our YouTube channel, like our post, please comment. We implore you to do that for us. We need your engagement. And also, if you have done your ISO assessment, do well to send them to the email that was posted on the group. Please, most of you have been asking that you do not understand what ISO assessment is. Once you are done, I believe we are going to be handling ISO 1002 today. So please, as you are doing your assessment, you do well to download your certificate, then send it to us for record purpose, okay? Thank you so much. I think that's going to be all for today's announcement, or if I have any other thing to talk about, we will hear it later in the day. Okay, as usual, we have 3 sessions, but today's session will be starting with ISO 1002, talking about customer service management, okay? Please give me few seconds to share my screen. A quick one, if you have sent your certificate already, you don't need to resend it again, okay? Okay, Shemi Sojirin. Okay, the link, the email is always on the group. I'm going to resend that later after today's class. All right, thank you. So without further waste of time, I will be introducing our face trainer for today, in the person of Mrs. Bukola Bamidele. Bukola Bamidele is a General Manager of Operations and Partnership at Standards and Best Practice. With extensive expertise in human resource management, project management, and organizational development, she is the driving force behind the organization's growth and success. She has a passion for excellence and making a tangible impact in the world of business. She has extensive experience in sales, marketing, business development, operations, and process improvement. Bukola is a graduate of the University of Lagos. Her pursuit of continuous learning and a drive for professional excellence led her to the esteemed halls of the Rome Business School, where she obtained her Master of Business Administration (MBA) degree. In addition, she holds a variety of professional certifications, including ISO 9001 Lead Implementer, ISO 17024 Lead Auditor, Senior Professional in Human Resources International, SPHRI, Prince 2, and others. Please, with a clap of hand, with the excitement in the house, let's welcome our trainer for this first session in the person of Bukola Bamidele. Welcome, ma'am. Please, you can take it up from here. Please, can you unmute? We cannot hear you, ma'am.
I'm so sorry. I thought I was unmuted already. Good morning, everyone. So sorry. I thought I unmuted myself. Thank you very much, Mercy, for the introduction. Thank you, everyone, for the warm welcome. I really appreciate. Thank you again to the management and the team at Transformation College for this opportunity to share my expertise and the word of my knowledge to the men and women on this call. Thank you very, very much. Okay, you're welcome again. Please give me some minutes to share my screen. Please kindly confirm if you can see my screen.
Clearly.
Okay, just give me a minute. Okay, you can see my screen now, right?
Yes, we can see your screen.
Okay, thank you. Okay, so we're welcome, and just like Mercy mentioned, we're going to be, I'm going to be speaking and sharing what ISO 1002 is about, the ISO 1002 is just speaking to customer satisfaction and complaint management. So in the course of this session, we're going to understand what customer satisfaction is about and how to undo, complaint handling process. Okay, so before I go on, I would like to just get to know my audience. So if you're a business owner here, just raise your hand. You can raise your hand or just chat that I'm a business owner. And if you work in an organization that customer service is very critical, you can also raise your hand. Anyone here a business owner or entrepreneur? Please, can you hear me?
Loud and clear, loud and clear.
Okay. So I said I would like to know, anyone here a business owner? Okay, Niyo Yekule is raising his hand. Very good. Who else is raising hand? Business owners. I only see Ni's hand. No other person? Okay. Is anyone here works in a organization that customer service is or you work in an organization that has to do with, customer service? Anyone? No one? Okay, I see another hand. Okay, Richard raised, yeah, good, thank you. Okay, so the reason why I asked this question is because this topic is very, very important. Whether you're a business owner or you're a professional or even a student, that is going to work in an organization, or you're going to have your own business, or as you call it, side hustle, whatever it is. It is important that you know that customer satisfaction and complaint management is critical to the business that you run or the business that you work with or you intend to run. That is why I was asking that. So just pay attention, and in the course of this lessons, if you have questions, please just note it down and I will take it after my session. Okay, so let's move quickly. So what are we learning today? So first of all, we're going to understand the purpose and the scope of ISO 1002/2018. We're also going to learn the key principles of effective complaint handling. And also, you're going to familiarize with the process and requirements for implementing ISO 1002. And lastly, you'll be able to recognize the benefit of a robust complaint handling process. Okay. And these are the few things that we're going to touch on in the course of this session. One, introduction to the ISO 1002, key terms and definition, understanding customer satisfaction, and finally, understanding complaint handling process according to ISO 1002. I want to assume that this is not the first time that you're hearing the word ISO, right? So, okay, broker, just for me to be very sure, okay? Who can tell me what ISO means? Just ISO. Who can tell me, who is bold enough to tell me what the meaning of ISO is? And okay, Richard raises and okay, you can speak.
Okay, thank you, Ma. ISO simply means International Standards Organization.
Very correct.
Can you hear
Thank you,
me?
please. Yes, I can. The International Standard for Organization for Standards. So got it right. Please just give me a virtual clap. You got it very right. So when you get the word so it means the International Organization for Standards. And one of the requirements or standards they've documented is ISO 1002, which speaks to complaint management, and customer satisfaction. And the reason why you see the 2018 here speaks to the current version of the standard. A standard is a document, that details the requirements for a particular management system or a guideline or a framework for a particular, subject matter. So 1002 version 2018. So then I ask you that, okay, what is 1002 2018? Just say that 1002 is the is the ISO name for the standard that speaks to customer complaints, management, while the 2018 is the version of the standard. So 1002 2018 is not a requirement, okay, but it's a guideline that you can adopt in order to ensure that your customer complaint handling process is standardized and well structured. Okay, so we're going to be really looking at this in a very quick minutes. Okay, so let's move on. So first of all, let's look at the introduction to ISO 1002 version 2018. So what is ISO 1002 version 2018? It is a standard that provides guidelines for complaints, handling in organizations, okay? Pay attention to the keyword here. Provides what? Guidelines. So it's not a requirement, meaning that you don't have to go through audits and all of that, okay? But it's something that you or your organization can adopt to say, okay, for us to structure our complaint handling process in our organization, we would like to adopt, ISO 1002. So it's a guideline for complaint handling in organizations. Next is that it focuses on enhancing customer satisfaction by creating a customer-focused environment, okay? It focuses on the keyword there, enhancing what? Customer satisfaction, that in all that we do, the product that we, offer or we produce, whatever it is that our organization does or your business, does, is that 1002 is going to enable you and your organization enhance customer satisfaction by creating a customer-focused environment. Okay. And why is this important? One, it helps organizations improve their complaint handling processes. Many organizations do not have a structured or a documented process for handling complaints. And that is why, they've not been able to achieve 100%, customer satisfaction. Okay, or they've not been able to have a culture that is customer focused. So when you apply 1002 to how you handle complaints in your organization, you will not only improve the process, you will also enhance what? Customer satisfaction and loyalty. And the scope is very applicable to all organizations, whether you work in a school or you own a school or you work in a tech or banking industry, manufacturing, or you own your own small business, whether it is SMEs or medium-sized business or the conglomerate or the limited liabilities, whatever, or private organization, whatever, organization or business that you own or you intend to own, this standard is very applicable regardless of the type, the size, the product or service it provides. Also, it can be used by organizations to handle both internal and external complaints. Someone asked me that internal complaints, how will we get there? Okay, so it can be used by organizations to handle both internal, and external complaints. So let's move on quickly. So let's quickly look at the key terms and definitions. So I've highlighted 4 here, which are very, one of the terms you're going to be coming across, again. So complaints, expression. So complaints can be defined as an expression of dissatisfaction made to an organization related to its products, service, or complaint handling process itself. So I'm sure that some of us, we've made some complaints at one point in time, based on the product or service that we received. Okay. Also, who is a complainant? A complainant is the person or organization or their representative making the complaint. In simple terms, the person making the complaint is the complainant. Okay. And the expression of dissatisfaction is the words, the complaint. And is a customer, an individual, or organization that receives a product or service from an organization. Customers can also be internal. So please give me a minute. So an individual, so a customer can be an individual or organization that receives a product or service from an organization. A customer can also be internal or external to the organizations. All of us here on the call are customers to, one service or the other, one organization or the other. We buy things, either it's from food to clothing to banking service, whatever it is. All of us here are customers to some organizations. Okay, and some of us here have customers that buy from us, or get our services. Okay, just like all of us here are students now, Transformation College, we are all customers to what? Transformation College. If you have any complaints, if you're not happy about what Transformation College is doing, you will make a complaint or express your dissatisfaction, and you'll be able to attend it. So that is how it works. So that's customer. So what is satisfaction? Satisfaction is the extent to which the needs and expectations of customers are met. This can be influenced by the quality of products, service, and the handling of complaints. Okay, satisfaction is the extent to which the needs and the expectations of customers are met. This can be influenced by the quality of product, services, and the handling of complaint. Okay. Now I'd like to ask before we move on, has anyone, you made a complaint, but the way they handled your complaint, you're not happy with it. Has anyone, experienced that? Just raise your hands. Has anyone experienced it? If you have, just raise your hand. Please, to thyself be true. So raise your hand if you have. Okay, thank you, Richard. Thank you. Thank you for being true. Any other person? Please, I need responses. I have 59 people on this call. Okay, so let's interact. If you ever made a complaint to an organization or to someone business, Lawa, thank you, thank you, thank you. Any other hands? Any other hands? Anyone, or every time you make a complaint, your complaints are well addressed, no issues here, you're always happy. Come on, let's be true. Okay, I see another hand. Thank you, Taiwo, thank you. Any other person? I'd have loved to see like maybe 57 hands. Come on. Come on. I hope you're on this call, though. You're not let your phone somewhere and gone to go and cook rice. Or you're washing, you're doing laundry this morning. Okay, thank you, Adedoyi and Akindoni. Thank you. Okay, so can somebody amongst those who are okay? Thank you, Christian. I see your hand. Thank you. Okay, so can any one of you just tell us your experience and how you felt? Just share your experience just quickly. Anyone who would like to help us with that so that we can know that this is realistic, not that we're just preaching or just saying things that are not unrealistic, so that we can know that, okay, this really, really happens. Okay, so anyone? Christian, do you want to go for it? So Taiwo, I still see your hand raised. I don't know. Do any of you want to go for it? Just share, you don't have to mention the company. Just tell us, what the service and what, we're not happy about. And when you made a complaint, how it was, addressed and what made you not happy about it.
All right. Good morning, everyone.
Good morning.
Okay. This happened recently. I went to a bank and the queue was much. And none of the staff could even, speak to the customers and let us know that, they are having network issues. And people were standing. All of a sudden, I was just frustrated. I just spoke. I said, please, can I speak to your operations officer or bank? I was just angry that you guys just kept us standing, no chair to sit, and you couldn't even tell us what is happening. The next thing, someone just said, we are having network issues. I said, you should have said something. You are in your office. We are going to our own offices too. And before you know it, their manager just came and said, we are sorry. They're having network issues. I said, you should have mentioned this earlier on. Look at other people standing. And before you know it, they now said, sorry, and we're sorry about that. And I was so angry, and that was it.
Okay, thank you. Thank you for sharing. So you can see now how dissatisfied you were with their service. Like you expected something from them. Okay, if something was not working, you expected that they would have, communicated it to you, and because they didn't, it resulted to dissatisfaction. If perhaps they've come and they came in and say, oh please, I was so sorry, we're going to experience some delays because we're having network issue. If you can wait, we appreciate it, but if you can't, just come back, and by that time we'll be able to attend to your request. That would have given you some level of satisfaction, and you'd have chosen whether to stay or to go and come back. But because nothing was said, they kept you guys in the dark, So all of these things, this scenario now just paints a picture of what a customer who, is not satisfied with a particular service and, made a complaint that, why are you keeping us here? Why are you making us stand for so long without anybody telling us what is happening? And until they raised or flagged something, that was when they started saying, we are sorry, it is network issue and all of that. So that is just a very simple scenario of, what complaint, looks like, and what customer dissatisfaction also what looks like. Okay, so let's move on quickly. So we're going to be looking at understanding customer satisfaction. So in a very few words, who can just share with us in layman words, you don't have to be very ambiguous, what you understand by customer satisfaction? Anyone, quickly? You can drop it on the chat box or you can unmute yourself to speak, which I will appreciate, more. I'd like to hear our voices. I have about 69 people on the call. Please, let's interact. So who would like to go and tell us what they understand by the word customer satisfaction? Someone said, Yomi said, putting a smile on the customer's face with your service. Very correct. Good. Okay, Peter mentioned, wrote, meeting up the needs of your customers. Excellent. Yes, very correct. Any more responses? Put on the chat box or you can unmute yourself to speak. What do you understand by customer satisfaction? Okay, Akindoyin said, what the customer enjoy from the service. Good. Meeting the expectations of your customers. Good. Lawa said, getting positive feedbacks from your customers. Oh, fantastic. Semi said, a customer being fulfilled with your product or service. Correct. Customer satisfaction is the merit given by customers for a product. Wow. Excellent. Well said. Well said. Well said. Satisfying your customer needs. Excellent. Oh, thank you very much. I see a lot of intelligent people. You guys should take the course next time. Okay, thank you. Yes, we all are correct, very correct. Meeting customer needs, exceeding their expectation, making them smile, satisfied. It just speaks to what customer satisfaction is about. So who are the customers? I mentioned that we quickly looked at who a customer is. But let's now break it down, very, very, very well. Okay, customers are important people in business. The reason why you're thinking of that business idea, or the reason why you have that business that you own, or the reason why you're working in that organization is because you have a product or service that will meet the need of an individual or from some people or a particular set of demographic. Do you get? So customers are very important. There is no business that said, I just went into this business because of myself. Nah, there is no one. There's a need that you have seen and you feel that, okay, if I come up with this business, it will meet this need. Okay, so no matter what, a school is meeting the needs that people need to be educated. Okay, the banking industry is meeting the need that people will need, financial services. Okay, people that are selling restaurants, they are meeting the need that people are, will always be hungry and we need a place where to eat, a cozy, nice, quiet place to eat. Okay, whether it is cozy or not, at least you're meeting the need that people are hungry and they need to be fed. So that explains why customers are important people in the business. So the question I asked myself so why then do business do not treat their customers as important people in their business? Can anyone answer that question for me? No, we've said that customers are important people in business, but still yet, some business do not see these people or treat them as important as they are. Because without them, you would not have founded the business or had that business idea. So can anyone tell me, does anyone has expertise in this area? I would like to learn from you. Why is it that business, still do not treat their customers as important as they should be? Anyone wants to write on the chat box or mute yourself to speak? Anyone? Anyone? Most times, customers' reaction. Okay. Customers' reaction. But you know that the customers will react based on something. I'm sure that if you met their needs, they won't react. Well, but let's continue. Any other comment? Maybe over comfortable with what they have gotten. So the businesses, they are already comfortable. They don't need to, go overboard. Why do business because they do not understand customers' pain points. Someone said, AI user, we catch you. Okay. But I like that word. Some business do not understand the customer pain points. Okay. Thank you very much for sharing. Thank you. But but that just shows that some business haven't established a culture whereby they are customer focused. Because if businesses are customer focused, they would ensure that whether you're already a made business or a growing business or an upcoming business, you will just ensure that everything that you do, the customers are satisfied. You don't even want to complain. Like, the word complaint will just send some shivers to your body, and you don't want that. If every business owners can be like that, then they will have a culture that is customer focused. But let's quickly, ride on. So who are our customers again? They are not dependent on the organization. Organizations depend on them. Do you know why? Because customers, they have plenty of options. We have a lot of options before. So if you're not, if a business A is not, doing well, or is not, giving them what they want, they will go to organization B. So customers are not dependent on the organizations. Organizations would depend on them because you need them in order to ensure that your organizations grow. Okay. Next is customers are not interruptions, but they are the purpose of work. That's why I mentioned at the beginning that the reason why we have that business idea, or you have established that business, or where you are working, is because something, you saw a need that, okay, if I do this, it will meet the needs of this certain people. So they are the purpose of why you established the business. So if you have that, mindset, that the reason why, you've established, or you've created this business idea, okay, is because you want to meet some certain needs, within your own environment, or or within a particular demography. Okay, so you have to know that they are the purpose of your work, and you have to focus on them. You have to ensure that they are very satisfied with what you are offering them. Customers are done a favor when they seek business, but not vice versa. Customers are done a favor when they seek business. Customers are the lifeblood of business. I particularly like this one. Customers are the lifeblood of business. Or have you seen a business that strives without any customer? Has anyone? Maybe you have. You can let us know here so that we can know how you are doing it or how they are doing it. But I have not seen a business that will strive without its customers. So it is very bold for us to say that customers are the lifeblood of business. Next, or finally, is that customers are a part of the business, not outsiders. Customers are a part of the business, not outsiders. I don't know if you've come across ISO 9001. That's a quality management system. It tells you that the customers are your interested parties. So they ask you, who are the interested parties of your business? The first person, or the first set of people you mention, are your customers. Before you now mention top management, board of directors, or your staffs, and all of that. So they are very critical and very integral to your business. So they are very much part of your business, and they are the lifeblood of any business. So I wanted to just explain who customers are, so that you don't just think that customers are people that just buy things from you. No, it's beyond customers and individuals that buy your product or get your services. It's so beyond that. Customers are very important people in your business. They are the lifeblood of any business. They are very integral part of the business. They're not outsiders, okay? And, businesses depend on them, and not the other way around. Okay, I hope we are getting some clarity, and it's very interesting conversation. I hope I'm still communicating. Please, you can put on the chat if you are with me. Anyone with me? I hope you are agreeing with what I am saying. Okay, thank you, Peter. Thank you, Rick. Oh, thank you, Kristen. Now I know that I'm on the right track. Thank you, Richard. Okay, thank you, Grace. Okay, thank you. So let's continue. So let's quickly look at the types of customers. So we have two types of customers. We have the internal customers and we have the external customers. So who are the internal customers? Internal customers are the customers inside the company. Okay, so every staff of an organization or a business, they are the internal customers because the business has, a responsibility towards them. Okay, so for example, if you work in an organization, you expect that you are being paid, you are being trained, you have access to some benefit, right? So those are your expectations. If those expectations are not met, then you will not be satisfied. So as an HR professional, there's something called what? Employee satisfaction. So we usually do surveys, every year to say, okay, let us know how, our employees are satisfied with the service or with the offerings that we offer to them in this organization. Our culture, our compensation, training and development, growth, all of those things. Those are expectations of any employee. Okay, so if those employees are not satisfied, what they do, they either complain or leave. Some will never complain to you. Some will just resign and go to another place where they feel that they will get their needs met. So those are internal customers. Another internal customers are if you're working in big organizations now, board of directors or top management, they expect certain things from you. So if you work in an organization and the top manager says, okay, we want you to achieve 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 things, you expect that you do what? You meet them. So those are internal customers. So the board of directors, top management, employees are all internal customers because they have some expectation that needs to be met by another party. Okay, so that explains internal customers. So who are external customers? So external customers are those who use your service or products. They purchase the product or service that you offer. They influence the sale of a particular service or a particular product. So those are external customers. I'm sure that many of us, when we hear the word customers, we only think of the external customers. But I'd like to tell you today that we have two types of customers. We have the internal customers and we have the external customers. So for us that are on this school now, we are all external customers to Transformation College. Okay, but Transformation College has its own internal customers. Those like the employees in the college, the top management, or their board of directors, or whatever bodies that manage the organizations. These are the internal customers, and all of them have their own needs. In 2001, we call it interested parties and their expected needs. So if you say, what does your top management needs? You have to meet it. You have to highlight it and say, okay, we are meeting this. If you are employees have certain needs that you need to meet. So those are internal customers, while our external customers are the popular ones we know who either purchase our product, influence the sale of our product, or use our product and services. I hope that is well understood. Okay, so let's move on. So what is customer satisfaction? Many of us, we said a lot of things, making customers happy, meeting their needs, exceeding their expectations and all of that. And we are all correct. Okay. So let's take it, deeper again. So what is customer satisfaction? Number one, it is a measure of how products and services supplied by a company meet or surpass the customer expectation. Okay, your customers already have certain expectations. So for you to know whether you have satisfied them or not, it is the measure of how that product that you have or services that you're offering, meet or surpass their expectations or meet their needs, okay? Customer expectation is the need or want, okay? Customer expectation is what? Is the need or want and preconceived ideas of a customer about a product or a service. Okay, the reason why you are on this score is because you needed to, achieve your objective of continuous learning, okay, to gain more knowledge, to gain more exposure, and that is why you're on this score. So that means Transformation College has provided a need that you wanted. Okay, so the question is that, are you happy with the need? Are you happy with the need that the service that they provided? Yes. Okay, so your customer expectation is the need or want or preconceived ideas. I'm sure that some of us on this code, you're already thinking of some business ideas. You don't know your customers yet. We're already thinking that there's a need here, and you believe that you have some customers or some individuals that we want this service or product that you are thinking about. The reason why we have a lot of fintechs today is because there was a need for easy financial services. I don't have to go to the bank to queue to do transactions and all of those things when I can just have a POS. Just go to a POS stand, put in my card, get my stores, and learn it. Or easy transfer, all those MFBs and all of that. Okay, so we have a lot of fintech, a lot of tech companies because there is a need. The world is transforming now. A lot of things that are done manually or traditional thoughts are already, being shifted and fading away little by little, and technology has taken a whole space in the world right now. And that's why you have a lot of fintechs and a lot of tech companies. We have fintech, agri-tech, farm tech, like everything is just teching right now. Because why? Because everybody's looking for things that are easy. Now look at what AI can do for you. AI. If some people are really happy with AI. I'm sure in some years, maybe a few years ago, if we have brought AI, what is AI? But right now, nobody's asking what is AI. Like, we even want to explore the AI tools. A lot of existing organizations are already, embedding, AI tools into their products. I saw something recently, Adobe PDF has also, embedded AI assistant. So AI assistant can do stuff for you. So AI has done a lot right now, and people are happy because AI has sort of made some things easy, made learning easy, made some work easy now. You are thinking of data, just go to either ChatGPT or some data AI tools, and it will help you out. So if customer expectations are met, then the customers is satisfied. If customers' expectations are met, then the customer is satisfied. Okay, so I want every business owner here or professionals, whatever business or where you're working, remember that, as an employee in a particular organization, you have a customer. Your manager or the person the employer that employed you has some certain needs that needs to be met. Okay, if you're a student here, your parents are your customers. Don't know why, because they have some needs. And they need you to focus on your education. They need you to, excel well. They need you to become something great and nice. So they need you to meet those expectations. So they have some expectations. So once you meet those expectations, your parents will be what? Will be happy. And you too, vice versa. You too, you have some expectations that you need your parents to be able to meet, to show that resources are available to send you to school, if you need some things in school and all of those stuffs. You need to provide food for you, provide housing. If those things are not met, you will grumble, you will not be happy. Okay, so that is how customer satisfaction works. Everybody, we all have expectations, and someone or an individual or a group of individuals are the recipient of those, expectations, or they expect that those expectations are met. So a parent to a child to a parent, an employer to an employee to an employer. That is how it works. A business to an organization to, a business to a customer to a what? To a business. I heard Mercy this morning now saying that, please, if you have not paid your, what they call it, if you have not paid your registration fee, please do so. That means they had an expectation from you. So you're expected to, pay a certain fee for you to be in this class. So if you have not done that, you have not met their expectations. So they are not yet satisfied. And it's the same, it's also vice versa. If the Transformation College has promised you certain things, and you are not seeing those things, have they met your expectation? No. But if they have, you'll be what? Satisfied and happy. And you even help them to, propagate or preach, what they are selling. So that is how customer satisfaction works. So let's move on quickly. Please, I hope I'm still communicating. So why customer satisfaction? Why is it important? Why do business owners, why do professionals, why do employees, why do we need to pay attention to customer satisfaction? Number one, the customer is the boss of the market. We cannot overemphasize that. The reason why Transformational College is here is because of you. Okay? The reason why the banking industry is here is because of you. The reason why we have supermarkets is because of you. The reason why we have hospitals is because of you. There's always something, some needs that, because we all have needs. If you did economics in secondary school, you all know that needs, customer wants. It is what? Very, very inevitable. We will always have wants. We will always have needs. So the customer is the boss of the market, is the boss of that idea that you have. Again, the customer dictates market trends and direction. Yes. Sometimes you have a certain business, and as time goes on, customers start asking for certain things like, I think that people want these things now. We need to, produce them or add them to the services that we offer. Okay, so the customers dictate market trends and direction. The organization is dependent on the customer and not the other way around. And another reason is that customer satisfaction means loyalty to the organization. If an employee is satisfied with their employer, they will stay, they will be loyal. It's just like that. That's how it works. If a customer is happy with the product or service that you provide, they will stick to you. Let other brands come because they are so sure about you, about the service that you provide, they love your products. They will easily not change. They will stick to you, or even come and tell you that, see, there are certain things that happen. I think you should add it to your. They will be the one telling you that, see, people are asking for these things, or this other company is doing this. I think you should add it to, because people are, buying it, or they are going for such services that you should add it to your service. That's what customer satisfaction can do for your business. And lastly, the satisfied customer will help bring in the new customers by word of mouth. Yes, I'm sure that many of you here now, once you complete this 12 weeks free program, and you are very happy, you get a certificate, you do your graduation and all of that, you're going to, tell somebody, I say, see, I learned 12 weeks, I learned a lot of things, we did a lot of internship, blah, 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 blah. You will tell somebody else, and the person too will register for the program. I'm also very sure that some of us, the reason why we're here is because somebody told us about Transformation College, about this 12 weeks program. So that's how it works. Because those people were satisfied with what Transformation College offered them. So once you have satisfied customers, they will help you bring in what? New customers by word of mouth, which is what in marketing it says is one of the fastest and most workable marketing strategy. Referrals, word of mouth, tell somebody, because the chain will keep going like that until it becomes, a supply chain of a lot of customers, buying from the same business. Okay, so this is the reason why customer satisfaction is very important. Okay, let's move on quickly. So let's look at the levels of customer satisfaction. One of the levels is very dissatisfied. Some of us here have been very dissatisfied with certain product or service that we, that we were offered. And what does it mean? It means that the customer is extremely unhappy with the product, or service. The expectations were not met at all, and they are likely to have a negative perception of the company. And this can, indicators are frequent complaints, negative reviews, high return rates, or repeat business. So let me give us a very simple scenario. So I stayed in a hotel, for my brother's wedding, and that place is very nice from outside. Everything is even expensive to imagine, but oh my God, their services is poor, very poor. The very morning that we're trying to prepare to go out, there was no water in that hotel. And we kept calling, they kept telling us 5 minutes, 10 minutes. Nothing was done until we left the place. We had to use bottled water. Tell me, somebody asked me now, if I go on the trip advisor, I'm going to read them one and put a lot of complaints there. So every people are trying to think they want to go there. They will see my comments and see my rating. Because why? I was not satisfied. I was very dissatisfied with the service, having to pay that much, and they have a very poor customer service. So that is what it means to be very dissatisfied with a particular service or product. Okay. Number 2, dissatisfied. It's not very, but it's still very, it's not, you're not still satisfied. That's satisfied. That means that the customer is not satisfied with the product or service. There were notable issues that affected their overall experience. So, and indicators like this would include complaints, requests for refunds or replacement, reluctance to use the service again. Okay. Another one is, neutral. So a customer can be neutral. The customer service is neither, satisfied or dissatisfied. It's just there. So for example, now, if you go to the bank, you expect that, your request is met. So it's not, you're not expecting anything beyond that. That is the service they provide. Okay. So if, for example, now I say, okay, I produce pencil. I want to buy pencil. When you're coming to buy the pencil from me, you're not expecting anything. You just buy the pencil and go. So it's not anything. That's what I want to buy from me, and I got it. I go. Or I come to a superstore and I feel that superstore should have everything. I see granite, I take the granite. I take the chin-chin. I take the Milo and milk, because I feel that they should have those things. So I'm not satisfied or dissatisfied. I'm just there. So the person is indifferent, lacks a strong positive or negative feedback. So it just means that you expect it. It's not something that you're going to be excited about. No. It's just something that you believe that they should have it. And when you get there and they have it, you just get it and you move on. Okay, so that's one level of customer satisfaction. Another level of satisfaction is being satisfied. Okay, the customer is happy with the product or service, expectations are met, and they had a positive experience overall. So positive feedback, willingness to recommend, moderate likelihood of repeat business. Okay, so if someone comes to my organization now and say, okay, they want to take a course and they're happy with the certifications that we offer them, Okay, they will come back, they'll leave a positive ratings on Google or a feedback form, and even come back, to take more calls because they feel like, oh, I'm looking for something affordable, I'm looking for something is easy. And they say that, okay, standards and best practice, have all of this. Why don't I just, go with them? So they are satisfied with what they got. Very satisfied. It means that the customer is extremely pleased with the product or service offered to him or her. The expectations were exceeded. So satisfaction means that the expectations were met. But very satisfied means that their expectations were exceeded, leading to a highly positive experience. Okay? So imagine you get something from someone and you work and they give you like an extra free gift. You're not expecting it. Okay? You're not expecting it. And so you were very happy when you received the free gift. Or you work, let's use the bank for example now, which I doubt, but let's use that. So for example, you know that your purpose of going to the bank is to do a transaction, whether to withdraw or to deposit, or whatever it is that you want to do there. But when you get there, you were given a t-shirt as, customer or something, or you were given a gift voucher to say, okay, you won a gift for something. You'll be happy, is it not so? Yes, because we're not expecting it. We're happy that, okay, they could look beyond you just come to do a normal daily transactions and just thinking of appreciating you for just being their customer. So I'm going to come with what? Strong positive feedback, high likelihood of recommendations, repeat business, and loyalty. And the final level of customer satisfaction here is the customer is very delighted. It means the customer's experience went above and beyond their experience. Okay, now imagine you get something online. So many of us get some things online, and they told you you're going to get free delivery. Tell me, will you be happy? Will you be very delighted? Oh, yeah. I want to hear from us. So. Hello, are we still here? Okay, thank you. Pondia says yes. Asil said yes. Super. Oh, Peter says super delightful. Yes. Aha. So do you understand? Because we're not expecting free delivery. You know how much delivery costs now? At least the least amount of money you spend on delivery is 2.5. Yes, Tina said yes. Because you don't expect. I'm not, don't worry, it is free delivery on the house. I am so delighted. Like, wow. Even though the next one will not be free, but you want to buy from them just because they exceeded your expectation. They did something that you were not expecting from them. Someone said, yes, I'm very pleased. Function said, yes, indeed. Someone said, I will be excited. Very correct. Even myself, I'll be smiling. My teeth will be grinning all wide. Like, wow, free delivery. Okay. So that is what customer satisfaction can be. Let me give another example for very satisfied. So I met a fashion person online. I've never used the person before, and I just told her to sew, some for, and she delivered on time. When she delivered the clothes, now I was thinking like, okay, she would just put the clothes, in normal nylon and all of that. Like the way she packaged it, like, how much did I pay? That she did all this packaging, meaning that my expectations were exceeded. I was very happy, and I was going to say that I'm still going to. I'll keep using her because it was my first time of using her. I've never met her before. I just met her online. Okay, let me just give her a try. And apart from the clothes being sewn well and all of that, even the packaging was wow. Okay, so I was very satisfied, meaning that my expectations were exceeded. And it means that I will do what? I will do business with her again. I will even recommend. Someone ask me have a tailor, I will say, yes, I have a tailor. I will recommend, that person to the person, to the individual that I ask. So that is what customer satisfaction can bring to your business. Once customers are satisfied, your business will enjoy loyalty, will enjoy growth, we enjoy a lot of benefits through customer satisfaction. Thank you very much, my people who are communicating. I really appreciate. Thank you. So let's quickly move on. So let's quickly understand, what it means to measure customer satisfaction. There are different ways to measure customer satisfaction. And I mentioned a few here. One, surveys and questionnaires. Okay. So if you own a business or intend to run a business, you should plan to have surveys and questionnaires for your customer that they will fill just to understand their perception about the service or products that you offer. Okay. Feedback forms also. Okay. There's another one, Net Promoter Score called NPS. It measures the customer loyalty by asking how likely they are how likely they are to recommend the product or service to others based on what you've offered them. So you can also try that. Okay. Customer reviews and ratings. If you register your business on Google, there's called something called Google My Business. Okay. So if you register your business on Google My Business, your customers can go there and, leave their ratings there. Also, when people are going on Google search, they type in Transformation College or Standards and Best Practice, they will see the Google ratings. So if you have 5 or 2, Google will tell the customer that, see, this company has good ratings, meaning that their services are good. But if you are saying 1, 2, it will tell like, I'm sure that these people are not. So you want to do business with them. So that's what customer reviews and ratings can do for your business. Okay. Customer retention rates also track repeat business and customer retention rates as indicators of satisfaction. Look at your returning customers. That will show you the level of customer satisfaction that you are serving, or how satisfied your customers are. Another one is customer complaint and support tickets. In some organizations, they have this, they monitor the number and nature of complaints and support tickets to identify the satisfaction. Okay, so these are some of the ways you can measure customer satisfaction. So what are the steps to improving customer satisfaction? What are the things you can start doing from today, to improve customer satisfaction? Number 1, listen to feedback. Learn to listen, be quick to listen. Okay, actively seek and listen to customer feedback to understand their needs and concerns. There's something that we do in our organization every quarter, apart from when professionals take our courses and fill the feedback form. We do a quarterly, satisfaction survey, just to understand, how our customers feel. We call it Feel Your Customer Pulse. So we call. That's what we do. Just call randomly. Hello, how are you? How are you doing? My name is Bukola from Standards and Best Practice. We just want to get your feedback on certain things about our services. How satisfied are you? Is there anything you'd like us to add? Or is there anything we're not doing where I feel like we should improve upon? And they will be happy to give you those feedback. So we do that sometimes just to, seek their opinion so that we can improve the service that we offer. Another is that you address the issue. So if there's any complaint or an expression of dissatisfaction, please don't waste time. Address the issue promptly. For me as a person, I'm very customer focused. If a customer sent a complaint today, within 24 hours, I expect my team to respond. I wish that we respond within 24 hours. The only time we'll not respond maybe is within weekend. But by Monday, that's the first thing that we are addressing. Sometimes, if I feel that we can address it during the weekend, we go ahead and address it. It is very critical. So address issues promptly, resolve complaints and issues quickly and effectively to maintain customer trust. Because when they complain to you today and they're expecting you to respond, no response day 1, day 2, day 3, they have to now still call you again. Like, I sent you a complaint, I'm here to get a reply. Then you now be saying, oh, so sorry, I can't the complaint. How would you have missed it? So addressing issue promptly is one of the ways to improve customer satisfaction, because by that, you're able to maintain your customer trust in you and your business. Next is enhance quality. Continuously improve the quality of products and services to meet and exceed customer expectation. You have to, continuous improvement should be part and parcel of your being. Okay? You have to keep improving as a person, as a business. You have to keep improving. You cannot remain status quo. No. If not, people that you left behind will meet you and pass. I don't know you get new businesses who met you are people you have been, okay, maybe for some years, and a new business comes with a fantastic service, fantastic customer service, fantastic product, and all of that. They will meet you where you are and still surpass you if you don't keep improving yourself, your organization, your people, and the products that you offer. Okay, the next is so excuse me. Provide excellent customer service. Offer friendly, helpful, and responsive customer service to enhance the overall experience. Let people be wowed by your by your service. I remember an incident that happened, I think last year or so. A customer, paid for a course, thinking that because our course is e-learning, so thinking that, then we didn't have audio, all that, just custom materials. And so he paid for the course. I was expecting a video. I said, oh, we don't have video yet. And just like, he would like to request for a refund. And within 24 hours, we refunded him. And he was like, wow, that he wasn't expecting for us to respond to his request this fast. I said, because we know that you're not happy with, you had an expectation and we didn't meet expectation. And because we know that next time you will come back to us, for the same service. Okay. And he said, yes, I'm going to refer people to you. I'm going to come back, blah, 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 and all of that. So providing excellent customer service, is very, very important. Lastly, is personalized experiences. Tailor your product, service, and interaction to meet individual customer preference and needs. The way you deal with customer A, the way you deal with customer B, okay, because they have different preferences or different needs. Just ensure that you personalize what their experience, make them feel like family, make them feel like they have they are shareholder. Let me use that word, that are shareholders of the business. They have a say, they have a seat in the boardroom. Let them feel that way. By that, they will feel that they are part of the business and they will want your business to thrive. That's what we don't know. Once you make customers feel that they are part of your business, they will want that business to thrive. They keep telling somebody, they keep telling you what you need to improve. They are very quick to enable you improve your service and your product. Okay, so it's very, very important that you tailor your product to meet individual preference and needs. I hope I'm still communicating. Please, am I still communicating? I would like to just know. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Thank you, Pandya. Thank you, Peter. Thank you, Richard. Thank you, Kwame. Thank you. Okay, so we're moving to the next section, which is the last one, section for today. Understanding complaints handling process according to ISO 1002. Now we just understood what customer satisfaction, who are our customers, what customer satisfaction is, what are the types of customers that we have, the levels of customer satisfaction, and how to measure customer satisfaction and also improve customer satisfaction. Now we know one of the important things that is very what 1002 is all about is how to handle complaints. Okay, because complaints are inevitable. Okay, but we have to have a structural way. So 1002 is providing a structural way whereby organizations can handle complaints. Okay, so let's quickly look at that. So first is that 1002 has principles for complaint handling. Okay, and it has about 14 14 principles. 14 principles. And we're going to run through this very quickly. Number one, accessibility. Okay. Complaint handling process should be easily accessible to all complainants, meaning that, okay, these are the steps for you to make a complaint. Maybe it's through an email or through a through a ticketing booking or ticket booking, whatever it is. The information has to be accessible either on your website or your Instagram platform or LinkedIn or Facebook, whatever it is. Let them know that if you have any complaints, please, you can reach out to us, via this number or via this email or fill this form, whatever it is, but it has to be accessible. 2, responsiveness. Complaints should be addressed promptly and handled efficiently. Okay, be quick to respond. Don't delay in response to complaints. Okay, next, objectivity. Objectivity. Each complaint should be addressed in an equitable, objective, and unbiased manner. Even if it's your family member that is buying from you and maybe makes a complaint, remove the emotions from it and just listen to what the person and take, the complaint and how to see how you can improve, the service or product that you offer. Okay, but you have to be very objective. No matter who the person is, no matter what the complaints are, you have to be objective in your reaction. Charges. Access to complaint handling process should be free of charge. That's one principle of ones where people should not pay for complaining. Okay, it has to be free of charge. Confidentiality, very important. Okay, personal information should be kept confidential. So whoever is complaining, if you want to make it anonymous, please do it. So there's something that we do in HR for employees, for example. Now tell you, don't worry, don't put your name, just make a complaint, but let it be anonymous. We don't want to associate with anybody. So you can just go to the top management and say, okay, please, we have some complaint for some staff. This. Yes. Okay, so confidentiality is very, very important. Another point, number 6, customer-focused approach. One of the principles of 1002 is that encourage feedback from customers and demonstrates commitment to resolving complaints, either from your internal customers or from your external customers. Encourage feedback. Okay. Next is accountability. The organization should ensure accountability for and reporting on the actions and decisions with respect to complaint handling. You have to, who is responsible for what? So the organization has to take responsibility for the actions and decisions with respect to complaint handling. Okay, so that's number 7 principle. Another principle is continual improvement. You can see it here again, right? This is very, very important. Continual improvement is very important. Ongoing improvement of the complaint handling process, and you have to keep improving the process by which you handle complaints. Commitment. Top management should demonstrate commitment to effective complaint handling. As a business owner, as the CEO, MD, whatever position that, as long as you are in a decision-making position, you have to be committed to effective complaint handling. And peradventure, you work in an organization whereby you're just an employee, you can escalate, this to your managers. The top manager has to be involved. You can't say, okay, it's only for customer service department. No. Because whatever affects customer service department affects, the top. Because if you lose any customers, you lose money. And top management are not always happy when you lose money or you're not making money. Okay, so top management, we all have to be, involved to ensure that we effectively handle complaints, well. Capacity. The next principle is capacity. Ensure sufficient resources and support for handling complaints. Especially if your customer base is very wide, you have to ensure that you have sufficient resources and support to handle complaints. You need to hire more people into your customer service department. You need to implement a tracking system to track complaints and resolution. You have to put all those things in place. Transparency is another key principle. meaning that your processes and decisions should be clear and open. Another is information integrity. Ensure accuracy and reliability of information. Don't say what you will not do, but do what you say you will do. Competence. Staff handling complaints should be skilled and knowledgeable. As business owners, as entrepreneurs, or future business owners, ensure that you train your staff. Don't assume they know how to. You have to train them on how to respond, the frequency for response, and how to communicate, the platform for communication. You have to train them on all these things, so because they have to gain competence in this area. And lastly is timeliness. Handle and resolve complaints within an appropriate time frame. For my organization now, we have a window of 24 to 48 hours. So within 24 to 48 hours, if we don't, handle, resolve complaint within 48 hours, the team responsible will be queried for it. So that is a non-conformance to our complaint handling process. So it's very important that we resolve so that you can maintain your customer trust in you. Okay, so handle and resolve complaints within an appropriate time frame. Okay, so these are the principles of 1002. So let's take it again. Number 1, accessibility. Number 2, responsiveness. Number 3, objectivity. Number 4, charges, meaning that it should be free of charge. 5, confidentiality. 6, customer-focused approach. 7, accountability. 8, continual improvement. 9, commitment. 10, capacity. 11, transparency. 12, information integrity. 13, competence. And the lastly is timeliness. So these are the 14 principles of ISO 1002. Okay, so let's quickly look at the overview of complaint handling process. So the complaint handling process involves receiving, acknowledging, assessing, investigating, and resolving complaints, followed by communicating the decision to the complainant and taking actions to prevent reoccurrence. I'll take that again. The complaint handling process involves 1, receiving, acknowledging, assessing, investigating, and resolving complaints, followed by communicating the decision to the complainant and taking actions to prevent reoccurrence. So this is how the flow is. So you can see the flow from receiving complaints to acknowledging complaints to accessing complaints to investing the complaint to resolving the complaints to communicating decisions and preventive actions. Okay. So we're going to be looking at this very quickly and how we can, implement it. So step 1, receiving complaints. Ensure that multiple channels for receiving complaints, phone, emails, websites, log and acknowledge receipt of the complaint promptly. So every day somebody is checking emails that speaks to collect complaints, okay, or there's a ticketing form. Just ensure that there's somebody always looking at it every day so that you don't miss any complaint that has been sent to your organization. Step 2, acknowledge the complaint. Acknowledge, so don't just receive it and just go ahead to resolve it. No, acknowledge that, okay, dear customer, thank you for reaching out to us. We have received the complaint and we would look into it and resolve it in the next 24 or 48 hours, depending on how it is. Okay, so acknowledge the receipt of the complaint within a specified time frame. Provide the complainant with an overview of the process and estimated resolution time. So the person is expecting that, okay, within 24 hours, within 48 hours, 22 hours, this will be what? Resolved. So you have to do what? Communicate that. Step 3, assessing complaints. Assessing, that means evaluating it. Okay, we'll call it in QMS, root cause. Okay, we call it root cause analysis. So evaluate the complaint to determine the validity and the seriousness. Prioritize the complaint based on its impact on the customer and the organization. What resulted to this? Why the complaint? Is it true? Is it a valid complaint or an invalid complaint? And all of that. So you have to critically, look at it before you make any decision. Step 4, investigating the complaint. Conduct a thorough investigation to understand the root cause of the complaint, gather relevant information and documentation. Step 5 is to resolve the complaint, and implement corrective action. If you have done any lesson on 9001 before, it talks about corrective actions. It's very, very important. You have to develop a resolution plan and implement corrective actions if there's any non-conformance with the service or product provided. So communicate the resolution to the complainant and ensure their satisfaction. So once you've resolved the issue and they've accepted the resolution, you ask them for their feedback, either through a form or via email. And just say, please, can you tell us how satisfied you are with resolution, whatever it's called. So they can say, okay, yes, I'm very satisfied with how you resolved the matter, satisfied with how you attended to it, all of that, to show that, okay, you've done well. So don't just leave it like you just resolved it. Also try to get their feedback on how satisfied they are. Okay. Step 6 is communicating the decision. Inform the complainant about the decisions and the action taken, provide clear and concise information. Then step 7 is prevent reoccurrence. Now, it's wanting to get the complaint, it's wanting to prevent it from happening again. And I tell my team that once we receive a complaint, just ensure that the next time it does not happen again. So we have to put things in place that will not allow such complaints to happen again from another customer. So we have to have a culture of prevention, preventive actions. We have to put in place preventive actions to ensure that that thing that was complained about, that non-conformance, that defect, does not, repeat itself again. So when you do this, you prevent similar complaints in the future. So these are the steps you take in handling, complaints. So what are the steps for implementing ISO 1002? 1, establish a complaint handling policy. Define the organization's approach to handling complaints. Design and implement the process. Under here, you develop procedures and assign responsibilities. Who are those that were responsible for handling and resolving complaints? Training, very important. You have to train staff on the complaint handling process. And just like how you are receiving this training now, as a business owner, you need to take it to your team, and train them on how to handle process. And lastly is monitor and review. Continuously monitor, review, and improve the complaint handling process. Okay, don't just say because you've created it once and it's once forever. No, review is what needs to be changed. This time frame, does it work for us? Do we need to reduce or do we need to increase it? So just keep monitoring and reviewing your complaint handling process. So what are the benefits? 1, improve customer satisfaction and loyalty, enhance reputation and brand image, identification and rectification of the occurring problems, data-driven insights for businesses, for business improvements, and lastly, demonstration of commitment to customer service excellence. So these are the benefits that adopting ISO 1002 can bring to your organization or to your business. Finally, I'd like to say here to everyone that the way your company handles complaint is a direct reflection of how much you care about your customers. Excellence is not an act, but a habit, okay? The way your organization handles complaints is a direct reflection of how much you care about your customers. Again, excellence is not an act, but a habit. Thank you for listening. Any question? Thank you. Please, can anyone hear me?
Yes, we can hear you.
Okay. Any questions? Any questions? You can drop it in the chat box. Thank you. Thank you very much for the comment in the chat room. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. I'm happy that I was able to, communicate And yeah, thank you. Okay, Richard has raised his hand, wants to speak. Richard, please, you can go on.
Okay, thank you so much. Thank you for this wonderful session. I personally, I really learned a lot, and thank you so very much. My question is not related to today's session, though. So it's just
Okay.
about the certifications. I wanted to ask, do they
Yes.
have validity period? Do they expire? Like after taking the basic foundational certifications, if we take the other certifications, do they have time frame that they like validity period? That's the question. Thank you so much.
Okay, so no, our certificates don't have validity. The only time the certificate will expire or become invalid is if the version changes. So for example, if you take 1002 version 2018 now, okay, the only time you get to retake the exam again is when 2018 changes to another version, maybe to maybe 2025 or 2024. That's when you'll be required to take we call it transition exam, to take a transition exam for you to become recertified again. But once you take an exam now, it is valid until the version of the standard changes. I don't know if that answers your question, Richard. Hello? Okay, he said this is well noted. Okay. Okay, somebody asked a question in the chat box. How do you deal? I'm trying to look for it again. Okay, Laura asked, how do we handle nagging or annoying customers? Okay, thank you for the question. So like I tell anyone who has asked me this, let the person express himself. Okay, because the person has expressed himself and has, you know, allowed whatever annoyance or emotion running through his blood, you know, has been expressed. Then just, we know that time the person is expressing, just keep telling you, just keep managing your emotions. You're going to become emotional intelligence. Just say thank you very much, ma'am. We understand, you know, or thank you very much, sir. Whatever the customer is, thank you so very much. We understand, you know, your pain point. And we promise that we're going to handle and resolve this as quick as possible. Okay? Just give us, you know, 48 hours or 24 hours to resolve this. And we promise you that you will get what you want. Just speak and end the call. Don't, as the customer is talking, don't also talk, hey, can you call? Because once you are talking back, you keep, you know, igniting the burning emotions in the customer. So just for that moment, be silent, okay? And once the person has finished, so think, as in, even the way you speak, the person will just come, that annoyance will just, you know, slip away. Okay, so you just have to wait the person, be quick to listen. As I said, be quick to listen, don't be quick to speak. Okay, listen to the person, let the person express, whether the person is nagging or something. And so, man, give us 24 hours, or you explain the issue. Okay, man, this is what happened, man. We apologize, it's our fault. We will work on this and get back to you in a few minutes or within 24 hours. Oh, no, I want this resolved. No. Okay, ma'am, we will work on that. Please, ma'am, we will attend to you, you know, in a few minutes. Just give us a few minutes. And, you know, end the call, escalate, and all of that. Then you call back. You know, it's going to resolve in that minute. Say, hello, ma'am, I just escalated to my manager. And from the issue, it's not going to take, it's going to take us, you know, 24 hours. It's going to take us this, you know, hours to resolve it. I appreciate your patience. We're really, really working to, you know, resolve your complaint. You know, something like that. You know, but if you are raising your voice too, or you let your emotions, you know, get the hold of you, you will not respond in a good way and just scatter things. Okay, so just you at the other end are responsible for managing your emotions. So if the customer can't manage his emotions, you have the responsibility to manage your emotions. So I don't know if I answered your question, Lawa. Okay, thank you, Lawas. Someone asked Abdul Majid, why some customers overreact when it comes to not being attended? We have different types of customers. We have the patient one, you have the not so patient one, you have the aggressive customer. So just know that you're not going to have the same customers. That's why I said that you at the other end, you have the responsibility of handling your emotion, because it has to do with emotions, okay? Because you're hearing things, okay? You might not see them, but you're listening, either through phone call or they come physically to you and like, now blah, 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 blah. But when you make them calm, you have to make them calm. You don't have to, also be at their own pace. No, just allow them express themselves. And once they express themselves, you not take it from there. They will listen, trust me. Okay, they will listen, but just ensure that you manage your emotions, attend to them, because they are humans. If you can't do it alone, you call a colleague, to handle it on your behalf. Okay, so if you know that you're not able to, just call a colleague that has not, listened to the entire conversation. Just quickly tell us, please, can you hold on? Just hold on. There's a way this customer caller thing, they can put you on hold and quickly explain, and somebody else takes the call and all of that. So it's just know how to handle your emotions, in such circumstances, because you always have different customers. There's no one way to handle a customer. You just have to find a way to handle different customers with their different emotions. Okay, I've just said I got it. Thank you very much. That said, in psychology, it's called individual differences. Correct. Yeah, very, very correct. Will you be informed to take the exams when it's changed? Yes, Peter, yes, you will. Once there is a change in the version, we will send it to, so our database, send it to our people who are taking that course and said a new version is out and the certification is out. Please, can you take it, and all of that. So we do that via email. Yeah. Any more questions? Any more? Thank you so much for the applause. I appreciate. Thank you to Transformation College.
All right. Thank you so much, Madam Buki. Like, I've really enjoyed this session with you, and I believe everyone on the call, they can attest to this fact that it's been so informative. It's been brilliant. Like, thank you so much. Like, I've added to myself as well. Thank you. Please, can we applaud our trainer for this phase session? She has done justice to ISO 1001. Thank you so much, ma'am, for that. Okay, before I introduce our next trainer, please kindly listen to this announcement. It's very important. I make this announcement at this very point. Okay, so this is to those who are on this call and you've been doing assessments, you've been attending, and yet you have not paid your assessment fee. Just like our trainer said, if you have been satisfied, then you should do something about it. Like we said earlier, you have to make your registration fee. So please do that so that we can capture all your attendance and your assessment. And probably you have done that and you didn't send us your proof of payment. Please do so, because we can't know everybody unless you send your proof of payment. We are already in week 8 and we are gradually rounding up the program. So you will not be running helter and skelter. You can reach out to us privately on our WhatsApp platform. All right. Thank you. I believe I have done justice to the announcement. And for your assessment, if you have any issue, you can also reach out to us. We are always there to answer your query. Thank you so much for your apt attention. Okay, I'm so happy to introduce this next trainer. I've learned a lot from her and I'm still learning. All right. So give me a moment to share my screen. Okay. Like if you are here with me, you'll be seeing me smiling to um to introduce this next trainer. She will be taking us on speaking and elocution. She is Mrs. Feishayo Odejide. Based in Lagos, Feishayo is a masterful elocution and effective communication coach. With a profound love for the English language, she expertly guides her students in the art of speech and the subtleties of meaningful conversation. As an etiquette and decorum guide, she shapes not just the words one utters, but also the manner in which one interacts and presents oneself. An avid reader, craft enthusiast, and writer, Feishayo brings a touch of humor and inspiration to her teachings. Her deep passion for discussing life adds a unique dimension to her sessions, highlighting her vast knowledge and genuine interest in fostering meaningful human connection. Please, with a thunderous clap in the chat room, let's welcome our next trainer in the person of Mrs. Feishayo Odejide. You are welcome, ma'am. It's so good to have you today in class. You can take it up from here.
Thank you, Mercy. Good morning. How are you? How's everybody doing? I'm delighted to be here. Good morning, good morning, good morning, everyone. I'm delighted to have you in this class. Thank you very much, Christian. Thank you, Jeremiah. Thank you, Jairus. Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. So like she said, my name is Feishayo Odejide, and I'll be guiding you through this exciting journey of enhancing our communication skills together. Whether you're here to boost, the way you speak or to boost your confidence or whatever it is, I'm here for you. Thank you, thank you, thank you, Adenike, thank you. Without further ado, I'm just going to share my screen and then we will start this session. And I hope and trust that it's going to be quite exciting and impactful. Okay, so just a moment, I'll share my screen and then we will take it from there. Right. Okay. There it is. Share. Right, can you see my screen? Can you see my screen? I'd like at least one person to be able to acknowledge so that I know that, I'm not playing. Can you see my beautiful? Thank you, Akindoye. Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. Right, so we're going to be talking about English language elocution, and we cannot talk about English language elocution without first of all talking about English grammar. Okay, because in order to be able to speak well, you have to get your tenses right, you have to get your vocabulary right. So yes, by the end of this class, you will be able to at least discuss things like, the purpose of punctuation in the English language, the use of, the use of punctuation correctly, and then you also will be able to recognize part of speech as necessary. Now, I know that we all went to primary and secondary school and we did, learn these things. However, I know from experience, with people I've spoken to, that a lot of people only understand it in the theory and not in the practical way of life, you know, so they don't apply it practically to the way they speak. So I mean, I can also say that when you pick up a language, it's easy for you to not speak it well. I always tell people that I think the major reason why I speak English language well is because it wasn't my first language. I had to learn it, you know, like deliberately learn how to speak English. I couldn't speak English at age 4. In fact, I couldn't speak English at age 5. So unlike how little children start speaking English in Nigeria, they start learning English with, you know, the way they learn how to speak or whatever it is. So anyways, I had to learn English from age 5 upwards. And it meant that I was very deliberate in learning how to speak English. So yeah, learning a language is not it's not rocket science, but I mean it's also important that we are interested in learning how to speak the language. Just a minute, let me expand my screen. Sorry, this is a new computer, so um, it's still giving me some funny prompts. Okay. Yeah, so like I was saying, it's not, I mean, learning a language is not rocket science. A lot of us, like I said, we pick up the language from our parents, from our brothers and sisters, from our aunties, our uncles, our grandparents, teachers, and, you know, all kinds of people. So there's so many reasons why we don't get the language right. Okay, so I would ask the question, does anybody remember their first words? Anyone? Do you remember your first words? I remember mine. My first word was Papa. My first word was Papa. I guess you can tell that I love my dad. if that's my first word, right? And my first memory of reading, I think I must have been 6. Yeah, that's my first memory of reading. I mean, it might have been earlier than that, but that's the first memory I have of reading. And I'm sure that we all have different memories as well. So very quickly, I want us to go into the rules of English language, the rules of English language, and all languages have their rules. Every single language has their rules. And so the moment that you're able to to have a grasp, to understand what, you know, the rules of that language is, it will be easy for you to then communicate in that language. Okay, language is all about communicating with people. Every single language, whether it's Yoruba, whether it is Igbo, whether it is Hausa, whether it is Ibibio, whether it is Shekiri, Urobo, Kana, whatever it is, you know, it's all about communicating with people. And you communicate with not just with your what's it called, the verbal, it's not just verbal communication, but also you have body language and or whatnot in order to get your message across. You also have written communication, you know. So there are all kinds of communication types in the world, but we are going to be focusing more on verbal communication. So how often have you been in a situation where something has been communicated badly and left you confused? So, you know, I mean, it goes without saying that there are many times that, you know, somebody says something to you and you're wondering what exactly is this person trying to say, or that they're trying to pass across to me and all of that. And the English language is perhaps one of the trickiest languages to learn because it appears that it has so many different rules, because there's too many influences. It's influenced by French, by German, by Latin, by Greek, by Scandinavian, by Arabic, by Indian. So it can, I mean, come on, it's very easy to have all kinds of confusions about how to pronounce particular words and all of that, especially when those words have their origins in these different languages that I just reeled out now, So when writing, you have to be very careful, because it's easy for you to forget, the rules of the English language. Sometimes, I mean, journalists have also had, I mean, they have this challenge, they've experienced this, that once they're under pressure, they start to say nonsense and write different headlines, and forgetting that, there are different rules and then things like that they need to adhere to and all that. So, words have to be used in context. Words have to be used in context. To use words, as building blocks, you need to be able to properly work out how they are used with other words. You need to look at how a word is used in context. You need to be able to do that so that you can become what I refer to as a wordsmith. Okay, so if you really want to communicate well, it's important to learn how to manipulate words, to use them and make them work for you. So, for example, I mean, words are used in different ways. Let me look for, okay, okay, look at this, for instance. No, not this one. This, yeah. So, look at this guy. He's saying, "I'll hold the nail and I nod and I nod my head." Okay, sorry. I'll hold the nail, and when I nod my head, you hit it with a hammer. Okay. Now this guy has misunderstood what he's saying, that he's supposed to hit the nail with the hammer when he nods his head, and this guy goes ahead to hit the guy's head with a nail, So we have to be very precise when we're giving instructions in the English language, when we're talking to anybody, whatever it is. We have to be precise. Don't use the words, don't be ambiguous in your English language usage, or whatever language as it were. But since we're talking about the English language, it's very important. So we have to master the rules of the language. So when we have a good understanding of the rules of English language, then we can begin to play with them and then have fun with the words. Okay. So once the rules are mastered, we can then decide to use tools as such as ambiguity deliberately. Okay. So I mean, the reason why we will do that is why, because we want to provide some kind of humor or some kind of pun or things like that. So, but we have to first have a solid grasp of how to use the English language, and then we can fulfill our purpose, whether it is to make an audience laugh, or to move them to tears, or to simply communicate our ideas, to them. So it's important to learn how to communicate clearly. Okay, when you read a newspaper, for instance, especially newspaper headlines, you will see the English language is something that I would say can be flexible, because when we use it, okay, I mean, I can't even think of one off the top of my head, but I do know that there are many times when, a headline has popped up and I just burst out into laughter because of the way they use, the words and all of that. So English language will help us to communicate in a number of ways. It's important to understand how we can be flexible in the way that we end up using the English language. We can mold it, we can shape it, and we can form it according to our wishes if we know the basic rules for its use. Okay? So words are like, they're like a building block. They're like a building block of our communication. So whether we speak them, whether we write them, words are the means by which other people understand our thoughts, our ideas, and things like that. So without words, we can't communicate. We need words to express. We need words to be able to communicate so that we do not become frustrated. It's a sad thing if we start to lose, and it's happening. It's actually happening. We're losing the real words, and then adding all kinds of funny words. I mean, Gen Zs now, it's they want to say something is suspicious, they say it's sus. We hear all kinds of different things. Delusion has become delulu, Oh, and it's not, and you think that it's just it's just a slang, or it's just something that's funny. But sometimes you sit with Gen Zs and they're talking, and you probably have no idea what they're talking about, because they've completely twisted the English language into slangs and then into forms of communication. So, I mean, these are things that happen all the time. And I dare say that those things are very inappropriate, especially in a formal environment where you have to talk properly and all. I mean, I can't imagine talking to you, for instance, and using the term "you guys." And I've seen it happen. I've seen it happen too many times. I can understand that, Peter. You said sometimes you had to ask your friend what he's saying because you don't understand what he's saying. Yes, I can imagine, because yes, he uses words like sauce and the Lulu and things like that. So it's. I mean, I'm talking to you now, and every time I hear people, somebody addressing a crowd, and he's saying, "Oh, so you guys," I'm like, no, this is completely inappropriate. It's not the right use of the English language. I mean, you can't, and especially in a formal environment, and when you're talking to people of different age ranges, different demographic, all kinds of things, social standing and all of that, you can't talk to people and say, "You guys." No, it is completely inappropriate. Just say "you." What you say instead is "you." You don't say "you guys." You don't say "you guys." As in is not a bad word to use. However, over usage of the word "as in," and then the wrong usage of the word "as in" is what the challenge is. Okay. So I mean, we need to be very deliberate and very conscious about the things we say. After a while, it becomes second nature, and then you don't have to think too hard about what it is that is coming out of your mouth. Okay. So there's some archaic words. There's some archaic words that used to exist and no longer exist, and we have words like mottle, which means to spot or to blotch. We have words like haver, which means to talk foolishly. We have words like caulk, which means to seal the sins of a ship. We have fulminate, and that's to flash like lightning. We have evince, which means to show or illustrate a quality. We have delate, that means to inform against someone. Base means coarse woolen material usually used for covering. Inveigh, to speak violently against. Jorum, a large bowl for a drink such as punch. Null, a nut or a knob. Lachet, a strip or leather for fastening a shoe. And aurist, an ear specialist. Now, which of these words have you ever heard before? Which of these words have you ever heard before? Prior to now, or well, prior to when I first came across them, I promise you, I hadn't ever heard of anyone except for aurist. That's the only one that I'd heard before. An aurist. You've heard lache before. That's nice. A strip of leather for fastening shoes. I hadn't heard of that before. Okay, so any other ones? Oh, Mercy. Okay, well, Mercy. I mean, come on. I know you've heard lache before, so that's understandable. It's not a French word, actually. It's not a French word, but it does have its origins in the French language, but it's not a French word. Okay, let's proceed. So, what like lache? I mean, they disappeared because people hardly ever wear leather sandals anymore. You know, the kind that strap up your legs. And when they do, I mean, everybody just calls between gladiator sandals and then they move on without even talking about what those straps are. They just call them the straps, you know. And then I guess people just, a lot of those words, people just stop using them due to laziness, I reckon. I mean, that's the only reason why I would think that such a thing would occur. Okay. So again, like I said, we also have some troublesome words that came across, I mean, that came about as a result of, you know, new age, social media, and all of that. And I think I mentioned some of those words already. Okay. You know, words like blading, they didn't exist before until people started rollerblading and then skating, and then the action of doing those things, or the act of doing those things, became the word blading, you know, or televangelist, you know, the word televangelist, that one. An evangelist who conducts regular religious services on TV. You know, those words were not things that existed before until people started. Yes, the American pastors, they're the ones who even started using such words. And then the word road rage. I mean, in the old days, people did not used to drive, so nobody could have road rage. But the moment we got crazy and started, I mean, we started driving and started doing crazy things on the road, people started having road rage. And then the word artsy, pretending to be artistic or overly artistic. So if somebody is too artistic, you call them artsy. And then if they try to just form like, oh yes, I'm artistic, you can also call them artsy. Artsy, okay? So let's talk about punctuation. How does punctuation work? How does punctuation work? Punctuation is about how words relate to one another, okay? So using symbols will help you know when to stop a sentence, when to take a breath, when to pause, when to become excited, when to lift your voice to ask a question, and also when to begin a sentence. So when you're speaking, you do this naturally, okay? However, when we are writing, it's a different story entirely. So punctuation becomes the signpost for the reader, okay? So let's talk about full stops. Using full stops, what ends a sentence? A sentence is a complete statement, usually containing a verb. Full stops are used to indicate abbreviations such as oct, that's for October, mon for like Monday, and rev, you know, as in reverend, where the abbreviation did not contain the first and last letter. Today, most people do not use full stop after an abbreviation, and that shouldn't be the case. You must also always use a full stop after an abbreviation, okay? You must always use a full stop after an abbreviation. So let's look at this example. All of my friends have mobile phones. I cannot afford one because my parents work hard to support our family. They say that it's more important for me to read my books than spend time on an expensive phone. They don't understand the pressure my friends put on me to have a mobile phone. Friends or family, how should I choose? Okay. Now look at how that came out. I'm sure you barely understood what I was saying, other than just having like the general idea. Now let's look at it with punctuations. All of my friends have mobile phones. I can't afford one because my parents work hard to support our family. They say that it's more important for me to read books than spend my time on an expensive phone. They don't understand the pressure my friends put on me to have a mobile phone. Friends or family, how should I choose? Now see how clear that came out. See how clear that came out. That's the power of punctuation. The power of what? Punctuation. Okay? Now let's talk about using commas. Commas are used to separate words, phrases, or clauses. They're used also to indicate a short pause. Commas act as pauses. They can be used to separate independent statements, which are linked by for, and, no, but, or, yet, and so. Now let's read these examples and consider how commas are used to separate the different parts of the sentence. Jenny said she would buy me the tickets, but she hasn't shown them to me at all. I am buying a new car, but I won't pick it up for another month. I'm going to a party, comma, so I don't expect to come home before midnight. I have never read Shakespeare, nor has my friend Emma. She picked the whole crate up in one go, for she's an athlete and I'm not. Would you like some cake or would you prefer fruit? Now, do you see the separation of the how the comma separates the two individual phrases, so to speak, so that it becomes the whole sentence? But also, you're not reeling it out, so it allows the sentence make sense. It allows the sentence make sense. Now let's go on to semicolons. Some words that we write need a stronger pause before them than what is provided by a comma. For example, words like however, therefore, also, moreover, furthermore, hence, subsequently, consequently, those kinds of words do better with a semicolon. Let's look at, how we use the semicolons, for instance. She's a wonderful chef. Therefore, we must consider her for the job. Okay? He loves camping. Furthermore, he can afford to go on the trip. I love English. Hence, I decided to study literature at university. In the above examples, therefore, furthermore, hence, need to remain strong in the sentences, and that's why they need a strong pause, hence the use of a semicolon before those words. Okay? Look at this one for you. Let's compare the following sentences. He was good at mathematics. However, he was not interested in it. Or, he was good at mathematics. However, he was not interested in it. Can you see the difference between the two? There's one that one pause was more subtle than the other. Okay? So that's why we use semicolons. That's why we use semicolons. And let's talk about colons. That's the full colon. Okay? A colon is made up of two full stops, one on top of the other. They can be used to introduce new information, quotations, or a list of things. And I know we all use full colons, okay? They push the reader forward and make them focus on what is happening next in the sentence. So let's look at this one, for instance. She ran all the way home, crashed on the bed, exhausted. She slept for a week. See what that sounded like, as opposed to she ran all the way home, crashed on the bed, exhausted. She slept for a week. Okay? So look at how we use, this is how we use colons. Okay? And then apostrophes. 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 Apostrophes do two really important jobs. Firstly, they help us when one thing is owned by another person. For instance, the boy's bicycle, the girl's toy, Tom Jones's song. And then secondly, they tell us when something has been contracted, made shorter, or something like that. And an example would be like you're very upset. Won't he come with me? Don't talk to me. So that is an example, because is you are, right? Won't is will not, really, will not. And then don't is do not. Okay? Next we have, okay, let's talk about our parts of speech, okay? And how apostrophes work with them. So we have singular nouns, and in singular nouns, it's always a rule that you add an apostrophe to a description, okay? So like the mother's bad temper. And these days, actually, I've heard people jettison the apostrophe and S in singular nouns. And you hear things like the mother bad temper or the dog bone. What's that? No, it's the mother's bad temper, the dog's bone. And I mean, the fact that the fact that social media allows all kinds of people to come and speak, you kind of can't but notice the degradation of how the English language has gotten. People just speak nonsense, really, and pardon my use of that word, but that's what it turns out to be. Okay, singular nouns ending with S is something that you want to always add an apostrophe to as well. For example, if you have a word like the class textbooks, the classes textbooks or the class textbooks, this is how you put the apostrophe. It still comes out sounding like the classes, right? Even without the S after the apostrophe. So you can either use the S or not. Okay, you can or not. When the word ends with the letter S and you want to use an apostrophe, you have to either put it with another S or just jettison the S and leave the apostrophe in front of the letter S. So you have something like Peter Davis's CDs or Peter Davis's CDs. Still sounds the exact same way. Still sounds the exact same way. And then when you're applying it to plurals, you have words like 2 weeks pay, the girls' books. At this point, you're not saying it like 2 weeks pay because it's a plural word. So it's 2 weeks pay with an apostrophe, the girls' books with an apostrophe because you're describing something that belongs to someone. Okay, so let's always keep those things in mind, especially when we're writing. When we're speaking, it's not quite evident, but when we're writing, then it becomes very evident, and it's something that we need to put into consideration. Okay, then we have I will continue with our punctuations, and we'll go on to speech marks or quotation marks. These are used when recording what someone has said, So direct quotation marks are like double apostrophes, and apostrophes serve very different purposes from quotation marks, okay? So recording what someone has said can be done in two ways. The first way is used for recording exactly what was said. Yes, it's correct to write Jesus's. It is, but you can jettison the S and just put the apostrophe there. But when you're saying it, it's not in Jesus' name we pray, it's in Jesus's name we pray. Okay, but I mean, it's used the world, it's used worldwide. A lot of people just say in Jesus' name we pray, and I guess it's acceptable for the norm. Okay, I mean, colloquial English and colloquial speaking, I guess it's acceptable. However, I never say that. I always say in Jesus' name we pray. But yeah, it's fine. So like I was saying, yeah, recording what someone has said can be done in two ways. So the first way it's used is for recording exactly what was said, and the other way that it's used is to report something that was said but does not record the exact words. So the first method is called direct speech, and the second is called indirect speech. Okay, direct speech and indirect speech. Yes, in Jesus' name with the apostrophe in front of the S is correct and appropriate. Okay, so let's talk about exclamation marks. Exclamation marks. The exclamation mark gives a lot of oomph to the words that are placed in front of it. Okay, so it can tell us that a word is stated in anger, in disgust, even in excitement, and has the opposite meaning or is an insult or a command. So examples are, give me my money now. Another is, you're such a nosy Parker. Surprised, yes, also for surprise, absolutely. And then you do have 4 essays by Monday, okay? So that's appropriate use of question and exclamation mark. You're welcome, Richard. And then let's go to question marks. And this is an easy one, isn't it? Because it's a question mark. So it tells us what has just come before is either a direct question, or a speaker or writer is a little doubtful about how the statement is. So an example is, what did you do on Saturday? Did you have a nice lunch? Why is she so happy today? It's a question. And so with a question, you always put a question mark in front of it. Now let's go to the next quotation. Sorry, the next punctuation, which is ellipsis. This 3 dots is what is called an ellipsis. And it is used to show that the writer has left something out deliberately, or has offered a thought that isn't complete, or to show that time has passed, or to show that the speech was all over the place. So this is an example here. I wanted to tell her I loved her, but ... Okay? Furthermore, the rules state that homework must be completed on time. ... All late homework will lose marks. Okay? So that's the proper use of the ellipsis. And then we have our asterisk. And the word is not asterisk, it's asterisk. Okay? And an asterisk is used in some newspapers to replace words, that may offend people, profanity and things like that. I've seen that happen many times in newspapers, on TV, where you have subtitles sometimes. Instead of putting the beep, does ellipsis also mean, no, it doesn't mean continuation. It doesn't. It doesn't. Okay, I know people use it as that, but it's not, it doesn't mean continuation. Okay, so yeah, so the asterisk is used to sometimes replace words. It can also tell us that there's a note of explanation about what is written. You're welcome, Richard. And the notes can usually be found at the bottom of the page. And then here's an example. The camp to Devon is on next Monday. Please make sure that you bring all of your own personal items. Everything else will be provided. And then there's an asterisk, looking forward to seeing you there. Another asterisk, students should bring sleeping bags. So that is the correct use of an asterisk. And then we have a very trusty bullet points. Okay, a bullet point is not becoming, has become popular, and it offers us a quick way to summarize, because it tells us what we're reading and the most important bits of what we're reading. They also make the writer brief. Okay, so an example is, okay, okay, so yes, this is an example of a bullet point. Use semicolons when pause needs to be stronger than a comma. Bullet point 2, use an exclamation mark to give oomph to words. Bullet point 3, use the asterisk to replace letters in words that may offend people. This is how you use bullet points. So I just summarized three, three slides in 3 bullet points. Okay? Yeah. Next, we have our stroke or slash. Sometimes we call it stroke, sometimes we call it forward slash. And it is used to tell us that we have a choice to make, or it can tell us that we're reading lines of poetry. Okay? And the slash can be used to separate lines of a poem. So example, twinkle, twinkle, little star, slash, how I wonder what you are, slash, up above the world so high, slash, like a diamond in the sky, slash. That's one example. The second example is fresh made sandwiches, choice of filling, lettuce, slash, cheese, slash, tomato, slash, ham, slash, carrot. Okay? So that's the appropriate use of a stroke or a forward slash. Okay? And yeah, so I think that's it for punctuations. I think, yeah, and then the next thing I want us to look into is direct and indirect speech. Direct and indirect speech. And what is direct speech? Direct speech, and like I said, because I mentioned that before, is what the speech that records exactly what a person has said. Okay? Exactly what a person has said. And when direct speech is used in this way, the authority or the knowledge of the person being quoted is thus acknowledged. Okay, so direct speech also makes emotional statements, very powerful. Okay, so when we read the exact words spoken, it's easier for us ourselves to put ourselves in the person's situation and to see what is happening from their viewpoint. Okay, so let's look at these examples. Shortly after the earthquake had destroyed her village, a young mother was heard to say, and then you can see the quote marks, "It came out of nowhere. We were totally unprepared. And at that moment, I thought I would never see my children again." And then it closes it. The speech marks closes it, okay? That's direct speech. Another one is, until we make the issue of youth homelessness a priority, we will continue to face a growing social crisis, said the Prime Minister. Okay, so that's direct speech because you're saying the exact same thing that person said and you're reporting it to someone or people. Okay, and then we have indirect speech. Indirect speech is reporting what someone said, but not their exact words. Okay, it's an example of indirect speech, and you want to try to maybe or think about why a journalist, for example, might not quote a person's exact words because they've not been given the authority to quote them, because that's why you would hear a journalist say, "Can I quote you on this?" Okay, so once they don't have the authority to quote the person, then they cannot use the person's exact words, right? So writers use this method to summarize what a person has said, or give sense to a person's words without quoting them in their entirety, right? So an example is, Minister Davis said that she intends to commit funds to a range of visual arts projects. When can you use a single question mark? Whenever you ask a question, you should use a single question mark. When people use double or triple question marks, it's usually for emphasis, okay? And it's not even a rule in the English language, it's just something people do. Okay, so when you use triple or quadruple or double question marks, it's usually because you're trying to emphasize, that you're asking a question and you're probably in, oh, did you say quotation mark? Oh, sorry. Double quote, there's no such thing as double quotation mark. There's no such thing as double. You just use the two quotations, and that is the two apostrophe looking like marks, right? So there's no such thing as double. You use one at the beginning and one at the end. That's it. That's when you're reporting someone's speech. Okay, and you're using their exact words. Okay. However, in the indirect speech, you're not using quotation marks because you're not reporting their exact words. So you're actually kind of doing a verbatim type thing, okay? So, and that's why I'm stating this example. Minister David said she intends to commit funds to a range of visual arts projects. However, if you wanted to use quotation marks here in this particular speech and you're using, that means that you're doing, okay, something like this, man, someone's knowledge. That's it. That's not useful. And no, that's not useful. There's no way this works. And I don't understand the context of what you're showing to me, but from what I see, there's no reason to use quotation marks in that those two words. I hope that makes sense. Unless you're trying to, if you give me like an entire sentence and then I'll see where you're putting the quotations, then maybe I'll be able to understand what you're trying to say. It seems like I'm not getting you. Maybe you can rephrase that question, please. Single. Okay, the context, ma'am, is can double quotation marks be used as well? In what, like where is what I'm asking. And what does double quotation marks mean? Oh, okay, I get what you're, like when you're trying, it's still you trying to quote what someone is saying. And that's where you see people use air quotes, right? When they're using air quotes, like what someone has said, you're still reporting what someone has said. Do you understand? So when people use slang, it's saying this. Do you understand? It's saying that particular thing that you're saying, it's saying a good girl. The word good girl is where you put the quotation marks. Okay? But that's still you reporting someone's speech because someone has said something and then you're trying to convey that thing to someone else, but in direct speech, it's in use of direct speech. So we're still saying basically the same thing. Okay, fantastic. I'm glad you understand. Thank you. Right. So another example here is what the spokesperson from the British branch of the Global Film Group commented that only professional accredited courses will develop a student's potential. Okay, yes. So what's the difference between one is an apostrophe and the other one is quotes? Okay, one is an apostrophe and the other one is a quotation mark. The single one is an apostrophe. That's the one you put in, what's it called? Okay, I'm glad you get it now. So one is an apostrophe where you say the boy's car and please, ma'am, can this absolutely yes, they can, but I mean I don't mind answering as we go ahead, okay? But that's fine. Right. So let's continue this. The single one starts and ends a sentence. No, it doesn't. The single one is not a quotation mark, therefore it does not start or end the question. It's used in apostrophes and things like that when you're trying to describe something that belongs to someone or when you're trying to abbreviate two words into one. Okay? Beautiful. Let's carry on. Yeah, so an example of direct speech which we've talked about before is he said, I'd really like to go to Canada. Now here the words are recorded on paper and placed in speech marks. Can you see what the use of speech marks here? You know, to show that they are accurate. Okay, so notice that all speech punctuation marks go inside the speech marks. So once it is something that somebody is reporting, you can see that the single apostrophe is where he says I'd as opposed to I would. Okay, so I'd, and then the full stop after Canada is still within the context of the quotation marks. Okay, he said, I'd really like to go to Canada. So this is a perfect example of the use of the quotation marks and the use of the apostrophe. Okay, and then we have the example of indirect speech where it says, he said that he'd really like to go to Canada. Here, you're not precisely quoting exactly what it is that he said, but you're reporting that he said these things, okay? Right. Let's talk about parts of speech. I know we all know this, but we will still talk about them again because most of us know them in theory, but not in practical. Okay? So what are nouns? Nouns are naming words. That's fantastic. You're welcome, Silveria. You're welcome. Now, nouns are naming words. These are words that give us the names for all the things that we come in contact with in our lives. Okay? Without them, we would not be able to tell the difference between a chair and a couch, or hockey and soccer. Okay? The more you know about nouns, the clearer your communication will be. Nouns name things. What I believe, okay, I'm sorry I didn't get that question, but I guess I'll come back to it after the class. Okay, so nouns name things. As well as naming things, we can see such people and places. Nouns also, such as people and places, nouns also name things we can't see, such as emotions, and the likes. And then abstract nouns name feelings. Okay, abstract nouns name feelings, they name concepts, they name ideas. Examples of abstract nouns include things like principle, ability, cubism, silence, pride, cedar, democracy. Okay, that's an example of abstract noun. And then we have common nouns. We have proper nouns. We have collective nouns. And we have abstract nouns. Common nouns are used for general classes of people, places, or things, right? Proper nouns are the names of people, places, organizations, days, months, or titles. Collective nouns are used for groups of animals, people, or things, and abstract nouns describe qualities or states of being. Okay? Plural and collective nouns. There are a few ways of making plurals, as you have seen. Sorry, please, can I have 1 minute, please? Just 1 minute. Somebody's trying to get my attention. Just 1 minute, please. 1 minute. Please forgive me, I'm back. Thank you for giving me the time to quickly go. Right, okay, so like I was saying, plural and collective nouns. There are a few ways of making plurals. As you have seen, there are a number of different ways to make plurals or nouns. Now, collective nouns are used when referring to a group of animals, people, or things. When we say a herd of cattle, the noun there is the collective noun, okay? The herd of cattle. Herd is a collective noun. Using a collective noun can be another way of making it plural. For example, collective nouns are things like committee, class, fleet, flock, or litter. Okay? So in our part of speech, these are the nouns that we have. Again, common nouns, proper nouns, collective nouns, abstract nouns, okay? And then we have verbs, okay? Verbs express action or being, and they also name actions. So the verb in the following example is the word play, okay? When you use the word of this, when you use the sentences, I play cricket every day, you play cricket every Saturday, she plays cricket every Saturday, he plays cricket every Saturday, we play cricket every Saturday, they play cricket every Saturday. The verb there is play because it expresses action. Yes, verb is an action word. I play cricket every Saturday. The word play is the verb because it is an action that I am expressing. Okay? Now, verbs can be changed like nouns, and the form they take is determined by who is doing the action. Okay? So, like I just reeled out, I play cricket, it stays play. You play cricket, it stays play. However, when you're saying she plays cricket, now it changes to plays. He plays cricket. And then we play, and then they play. So you can see how the word play has changed depending on who is using, who it's referring to, as it were. You know, and while some verbs show emotion, other verbs show being and show appearance. Okay, so verbs, example of verbs showing being, showing appearance, verbs like be. You know, be is a verb. Be, be is a verb. Becomes is another one. Seem is one. Wear is one. Appear is one. So an example would be my brother is very fit. We were happy yesterday. You appear to be upset. They seem sad. Okay? So that's another example. Then let's talk about tenses. Tenses. Tenses is a tense is about time, the past, present, and future. And there are 7 tenses in the English language. The first one is what? The present tense, the present perfect tense, present continuous tense, future tense, future perfect tense, past tense, and past perfect tense. Okay? Let's read the following tenses and the following sentences and identify their tense. He walks on the beach. He walked on the beach. He has walked on the beach. He had walked on the beach. He will walk on the beach. He will have walked on the beach. He is walking on the beach. Now, obviously, the tense here is what? It's what? Present tense, past tense, past perfect tense, past participle, future continuous tense. No, sorry, future tense, future perfect tense, and future continuous tense. Okay? And then we have the adjectives. Adjectives. What are adjectives? Adjectives are words that tell us something about the quality of nouns or words that stand in for nouns. They're what? Like pronouns. Okay, so they modify the words and tell us more about them. Okay, so an adjective that will be modifying a noun will be something like what? A kind boss, a good friend, a lovely dinner. Okay, And then the other adjectives that will be modifying adjectives that will be modifying pronouns like, oh, he was funny and she is charming. Okay? So adjectives come in 3 forms. They not only tell us the qualities of nouns, but they also allow us to compare the qualities of the nouns. And so we have the 3 forms called what? The positive, the comparative, the superlative forms. Okay? We have what? Positive, comparative, superlative. Okay? And the positive form simply states what? The quality of something. And then the comparative then does what? It compares 2 qualities of 2 things. And then the superlative then does the quality of 3 or more things. And that's where we have things like big, bigger, biggest, tall, taller, tallest, fat, fatter, fattest, good, better, best, things like that. Okay? Then we have our adverbs. Adverbs. Adverbs modify what are verbs and usually end in ly. Ly. They modify other adverbs and adjectives. Okay? And it is important to note that while most adverbs end in ly, there are what? Exceptions. Adverbs answer certain questions such as how often, where, when, and then they also show time, place, and manner. Okay? So that an example of an adverb would be what? Softly, beautifully, lovely. Okay? That's an example of adverbs. And then we have our prepositions. Prepositions. Prepositions is a word, of course, that is derived from the Latin word prespositio. Prespositio. And prespositio means putting before. Putting before. A preposition is a word used to show the relationship with nouns, pronouns, or other words in a sentence. Okay? So a preposition can tell time. For example, we will meet around midday. Around there is the preposition. It can also tell position. I stayed at home today. At is the preposition. A preposition will tell means. For example, my friend traveled by plane. By there is the preposition. So common prepositions are about, above, across, after, along, among, around, as, at, before, behind, below, beneath, between, by, concerning, despite, during, for, from, into, like, of, outside, past, regarding, since, still, to, under, until, and with. Okay? And let's talk about pronouns. And pronouns are something that we talk and the people pay a lot of attention to these days. So you hear things like, what are your pronouns? And they basically mean, how do you want to be addressed? Especially with, now LGBTQ, where there's all kinds of gender fluidity, binary, all those things. So pronouns are something that people take seriously these days. So a woman typically is referred to as she, her. A man is referred to as she, him. Somebody who is gender fluid wants to be referred to as they, them, or many people want to be referred to, or you need to refer to many people as they, them. Even a woman that it looks to you that they're visibly and physically woman will say that they do not want to be referred to as a woman, they want to be referred to as he, him. Another woman would say they, them, she, her, he, him, she, her. You get the general idea. But pronouns are used towards, basically in the English language, pronouns are used to avoid repetition and to take the place of nouns, persons, places, or things. So let's look at what an example would be if you had so a group of sentences without pronouns. John asked Sarah to the party. Sarah told John that she would go with him. Sorry, she would go with John. John said that John was very pleased that Sarah accepted John's invitation. Now, of course, a life without pronouns would be quite cumbersome. Now, let us look at the example of the same word with pronouns. John asked Sarah to the party, and she said yes. John was very pleased, and she accepted. Now look at how simple that just sounded, as opposed to what we read before now. Pronouns play a vital role in the English language, and if you're still not convinced, try to have a 5-minute conversation with a friend without using a single pronoun. You will try it. Okay? So the sentence is describing an action and what that's happening now. Okay. I don't understand what that was. So if there's a question there, please, I'd really appreciate if you rephrased it and let me know. Thank you. Okay, so just like the nouns, these words replace, they can be singular or plural. So they can refer to males or females. Okay, I guess it's a conversation between you guys. And they change their form depending on where they're used in the sentence. And so there are 3 main pronouns, okay? The first one, it's not a problem, thank you. Thank you, Richard. Personal pronouns are what? I, my, mine, me, you, your, yours, he, his, him, she, her, hers, it, its, we are, ours, us, they, their, theirs, and them. And then we have the relative pronouns, which is what? Who, whose, whom, whoever, whomever, whatever, which, that, what. And then we have the indefinite ones. Some, something, some, someone, somebody. One, nothing, no one, nobody, neither. Everything, everyone, everybody, either, each, anything, anyone, anybody, any, and all. Okay? So these are the 3 types of pronouns. All right? The 3 types of pronouns. 3 types of pronouns. Now, I want to talk about tautology. Tautology. And then I guess, because we're running out of time, so let me just quickly go through tautologies with you. What is a tautology? A tautology is an expression or phrase that says the same thing twice, just in a different way. For this reason, yes, it's an unnecessary repetition. For this reason, tautology is usually undesirable as it can make you sound wordier than you need to be and make you appear foolish. Okay? Occasionally, tautology can help add emphasis or clarity or introduce intentional ambiguity, but in most cases, it's best to just use one way to state your meaning and eliminate the extra verbiage. And then it helps you what boost understanding by and let's boost your understanding by reviewing some tautology. So, and as Nigerians, these are things that we do a lot. I'm looking for, yes, examples of tautologies. My favorite one, reverse back. Reverse back. And Yoruba people will not make it worse and say reverse back, lo saying. Reverse back, lo saying. So you're using one word, 4 times. Okay? Reverse back. Another one, still yet. Still yet. Yes, I saw that short Nika. And Nika is already short, right? And Nika is spelled with a K, K-N-I, okay? Still yet, which both mean that something has not occurred. But my grandmother, still yet, no, is what you will hear her say. Okay? And then we have, you use reverse back a lot, so I mean, please don't. It's just reverse, right? It's just reverse. Reverse. And then night vigil. A vigil only happens at night. Therefore, it's just a vigil. You can't say night vigil. It's just vigil. Okay? More better. Now that is just ridiculous. I don't know why anybody will say more better. Yes, when sending an email on behalf of the company, is it good to use words like I on behalf of the company? It's your prerogative, really. Even though there's no point using I again. Exactly, David. There's no point using I again because you're doing it, okay? So you just need to say on behalf of the company or whatever, and then do whatever it is you want to do. Say I on behalf of the company. Well, it can be redundant because it's quite obvious that you're doing it, okay? So yes, more better is another one. And that one I think even sounds wrong already. The other ones even still have a sense of, can one say much better? Well, yes, you can say much better. Okay, then we have some certain. Some and certain mean the exact same thing. Some and certain mean the exact same thing. So why are we saying some certain? Eh? Why are we using that word? 10 years anniversary. Okay. Anniversary means that it is a yearly thing. So what you want to say is 10th anniversary. 10th anniversary. Okay? And not 10-year anniversary. 10th anniversary. 10th anniversary. 10th anniversary. 10th anniversary. 10th and the what? Anniversary. Then short summary. Come on, a summary is meant to be short already. Okay? A summary is meant to be short already. So there's no point saying short summary. And then you're saying, in my opinion, I think. It is your opinion, you're thinking it. Okay? It is your opinion, you're thinking it. So do not say, in my opinion, I think. Okay? Do not say, in my opinion, I think. Do not say, in my opinion, I think. Say, I think, or say, in my opinion. Say, I think, or say, in my opinion. Do not say, In my opinion, I think. Don't say it. Don't say it. And then please RSVP. What's the point? What's the point of saying please RSVP? Okay. Say, because to start with, a belated happy birthday is correct, not happy belated birthday. No, the birthday is not belated. It is the wish that is belated. Okay, so you're saying happy belated. Belated happy birthday, because it is the wish that is belated. The birthday already happened, so you cannot say a belated birthday, right? So RSVP is means responder civil play. Okay, that's French for please respond. So if you're saying please RSVP, you're saying please respond. There's no point using please twice, right? And then first and foremost. Oh, so first is already foremost, so there's no point saying first and foremost. You want to say first or firstly, or you can say foremost, okay? But do not say first and foremost. Close proximity is another wrong one. If you're close to somebody, then you're in proximity with that person. So close and proximity are two words that shouldn't be used together, because it really means the same thing. Okay, to quote verbatim, if you're quoting somebody, you're already using their words verbatim, so don't say to quote verbatim, just say to quote the person, right? See me at -am in the morning. Come on. If you're seeing somebody at 10 a.m., then it is in the morning. There's no point saying a.m. in the morning. Say see me in the morning, or see me at 10 in the morning or 10 a.m. Not at 10 a.m. in the morning or whatever, or at 6 p.m. in the evening. No. See me at 6 in the evening or 6 p.m. Please, ma, is RSVP not referred to as? No, it's responder. It's responder, s'il vous plaît, not reserve. Responder. We want you to respond, not to reserve. Okay. Enough is enough. Okay, so it's sufficient enough. My God is sufficient enough for me. That's a common phrase that people say, but is my God is sufficient for me, or my God is enough for me? Okay, not sufficient enough for me. Yeah, you're welcome, Richard. All right. And then of course we have a few other examples. When remember when 4G cell phones were the new innovation? Like what? Come on, innovation is new already. So you don't say new innovation. You say when it was the innovation, when it was an innovation, not a new innovation. Charlie told his mom that he made the scarf himself. Why are you putting himself after you're already telling people that he made the scarf? Okay, he made the scarf. That's it. There's no need to add himself to it. Okay, she over exaggerates. If you're exaggerating, that means that you're overstating something already as it is. So do not add over to exaggerate. Okay, the evening sunset was beautiful. No, the sunset was beautiful because sunset only happened in the evening. Be careful, there is a lot of frozen ice on the road. If it is not frozen, it can't be ice. So there's no point adding frozen to ice. I need a new hot water heater. If you're going to heat water, then it's going to be hot. So why are you adding hot to hot water heater? Okay, you need a water heater. That's simple. And then I know it's true because I overheard it. Sorry, because I heard it with my own ears. What else would you have used to hear it? So you know it's true because you heard it. It's that simple. So my dear people, thank you very much for joining me in this class. Much more. It's also a tautology, but it's an acceptable tautology. Okay. Thank you so much for being here with me. I thoroughly enjoyed my time with you. I wish I had more time to share more things, but I guess, well, we'll do this some other time. So thank you so very much, and do have a lovely day. If you have any more questions, I'm happy to answer them. So please, yes, questions. I want to hear more questions, please. Thank you. Any questions? Okay, I need to stop sharing my screen. Okay, I think I've stopped sharing.
Oh, you have a funny question.
Yes, I'm trying to retrieve my question. Sorry, just a minute. Let me go to the chat room. Okay, what's the funny one? Maybe you can help me out here.
From Semi Sojourn, you said you learned English at 5. What's your first language?
Okay, my first language was German. My first
Wow.
language was German. I didn't grow up speaking English because I was born in Germany. I had to, of course, I mean, my first language was German, and then when we moved to Nigeria, I then had to um, learn how to speak both English and Yoruba.
Wow. That's beautiful. Next question says, are the use of abbreviation acceptable in English writing, like ASAP, ASAP?
It's dicey. Okay, so in formal writing, I would advise not to use it. But if you're speaking, I mean, if you're chatting with someone or something like that, then I guess it's fine. But I mean, I wouldn't use it when I'm writing, formally. I would use the word as soon as possible, as opposed to
Okay.
ASAP.
All right. So we'll be taking just one more. So the question says, is it you're really welcome or you are welcome?
You're welcome. You're welcome. Come on, I mean, it's not bad to say you're really welcome or you're absolutely welcome or anything like that because you want to add emphasis to it. However, I mean, I will always go for simplicity. You're welcome. It's fine for me. So yeah.
That's simple enough. Yeah. Wow, thank you so much, ma'am. You can see why I said I was so happy to introduce you, because I know that we are really going to learn a lot and still learning. So I don't know if we have evidence in the chat room. Please, can we appreciate our trainer, our second trainer for today? I believe we'll be correcting ourselves now so that we don't speak in tautology. Please, can we appreciate
Thank you.
our trainer? She has done justice to this. Thank you, Loretta.
Thank you
Thank
guys
you.
so very much. I'm very grateful. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you, Grace. Wow,
Thank you.
thank you so much, Ma. It was nice having you again on the call. And
Thank you.
everyone is just excited today because I can see everybody's just excited. So thank you for your
I'm glad.
time today.
I'm glad.
Okay,
I
so we
appreciate
believe
you having me here.
all right, we believe we'll see you some other time.
I hope so
Thank you.
too. Thank
Yes,
you. Have a beautiful day and God bless you.
thank you, Ma. Have a nice day too.
You too.
All right, everyone. So we will be going on a very short break now. So we'll be returning at 1:30 on the dot. So please do well to join before 1:30 because we don't want to keep everyone longer than necessary. All right. So you can go have your short break, stretch your leg, take a cup of water, stretch, and then come back for the last session. All right. So I would just like to say something about the last session. I don't know if you have heard about Canva too. So we'll be talking about the practical use of Canva in our next session. Okay. So enjoy your break. Thank you.